previously on Irving Renquist.
All right, we built in the previously on Irving Renquist thing for this episode, so it's a little different here. I'm Mike Nones, the director of episodes 4 and 5, which are about to watch live, and executive producer. I'm with.
Hi, I'm Sean Colbert. I'm playing the part of Dr. Tom Augusta.
And I'm David B. Grelk, executive producer, writer of the series. I remember when I pitched the idea of this cliffhanger to you. I really like the, and this was never intended to be anything cliffhanger-ish. With Dr. Tom falling down the stairs, he was immediately going to go into that next scene where he sits up and is talking to Irving and Julia. And then I thought, well, what if we end the episode here and we think he's dead?
Yep.
And then we also talked about, well, let's also put in a rerun or something in between episodes 4 and 5, just to extend our little "what if he's dead" thing. I mean,
which was great because we actually did get to find out. Our idea was to find out how many people are watching. You know, because we knew that kind of a cliffhanger, and then to not go right to the next episode would get people talking, and it worked.
It did.
So it was nice.
Kind of like a mini Who Shot JR from Dallas.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Kind of.
And why did Dr. Tom fall down the stairs? Yeah. Which actually is something we don't answer for a while. We just gloss over why and how and all that, and we deal with, okay, he's still alive.
Bad night.
And Irving's immediately back to prick mode.
Yeah, I know. I love that. This was intense. I love working with Angela. I've worked with her, a number of times. But yeah, that right there scared the crap out of me.
Well, she almost hit the camera a few times. I know.
She almost hit the camera a few times, and almost took off Erica's fingers. But she's not an actress out of control. I don't mean to label her incorrectly.
She's passionate.
She's passionate,
and
but
intense.
It's just her intensity. I think sometimes throws people off because she really gets into it. So people are like, whoa, I'm scared of you, really. So she plays a great villain.
When I enjoy Dr. Tom's little monologue here because he is saying the specific thing of, you guys have no experience whatsoever. I have experience. Even if you don't agree with me, I know what I'm talking about more than you do.
Yeah.
And it's true about these characters. They don't have any experience, and they are just winging it here. Mm-hmm. And I like that we're calling them out. We're calling our heroes out on their faults in this.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Want a gold star?
You should get some ice.
I'm surprised I went with Gold Star and not Cookie. Did I do Cookie somewhere else in the series?
I don't think so. You went with Gold Star.
Usually I do Cookie.
You're mixing it up.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I really loved this the way this all came together. Your performance here, Sean.
Thank you.
And I love that you're doing it from the floor, too. You have the upper hand in this. They're trying desperately to hold on to the upper hand, but you're from the floor hitting them with this.
Well, it's kind of neat for me because it gives me a new attack mode because Erica's character has been the steady hand through everything I've been on so far. I've never had any real reason to be PO'd with her or question what she's doing, but she's just gone too far.
So why don't you get your crew?
There's Brian in angry Irving mode.
The way you get up there, I thought was awesome because it's like he's laying into you because he thinks, since he's got the height on you, well, he can control you. The moment you stand up, it's just like, oh no, you can rip him to shreds. I love that.
The funny thing is I literally used Leslie to climb up.
and Leslie's little there. It's wonderful. And
she's loyal.
It's great how much of a character she built, considering she has like 4 lines of dialogue, and most of them are, "Oh, and Dr. Tom, and stop." And I think that's the first hints of their little relationship thing there. Yeah. It felt like it.
Yeah, a little bit.
It felt like it to me.
I think you do get a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting one, definitely, because it's so subtle.
Would you like to let us in on that?
I'm laughing. Okay, those two.
The headdresses.
The headdresses on the wall. They're currently intact right now. because we shot this before Bill Coulter, who plays Jerry Parker, backed into one and broke it. I mean, it still works. It's just like a huge chunk of it is missing, and he feels so bad. It's like, it's okay. I'll just.
Well,
just
it
tell
is
my mom
it is
to
not
follow
a
it.
CNGM film shoot if we don't break
Break
something at the no one's house.
Right.
And to Mr. Coulter's credit, that hallway is no longer haunted. I think he broke the spell.
He did.
He banished the ghost.
Yeah.
The creepy woman that constantly walks down that hall at 2:30 in the morning hasn't showed up since.
Now she's
then.
like, where am I going? I got nothing.
I really like your choice here to not see Dottie for so much of the, we're only seeing Irving. And I think that's interesting because then you don't know
What she's doing.
what she's doing. Yeah, and then we get this, which I love. Oh, and this is my favorite of Lonnie's rants. This is something that since my very first Irving Renquist thing, this has been Lonnie's main personality with everything he knows about ghosts and scary situations. He's learned from these movies, and he believes very strongly that is going to be what happens to him.
I remember when I was reading the scripts, this was the scene, the reason why I was like, I definitely want to do this two-parter. I'd really love to direct this. Because it was nice because it was in the middle of the series too. So since I was also the director of photography for the majority of the series, it gave me it was a good time to take a break and get into a different position on the crew, and it gave a great chance for Steve to shoot these two episodes, and I think he did a fantastic job. This is the first thing that he shot solo, and then I worked with him later on since then. So.
And I love that Julia knows who Reverend Kane is.
Well, I am.
Favorite part of the whole series. And here goes Irving into flirting mode.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to change the subject. So
Yes,
he's not a bad guy.
We got to play around with this script for a while. We decided to take a short break, short lunch, and really work on this scene. And I think it was really beneficial because we had a lot of different ways that we could have done this, and I really liked the humor that we worked into it, because I think when we were first reading it, it was all serious, and I remember Brian and Angela both being like, this isn't feeling right. I'm like, I agree. We need to find the humor in here. And
this
it really came out.
The key, I think, was, remember, Angela didn't understand the line, well, that's neither here nor there. She actually thought it was literally saying it, rather than it was a dismissive, okay, so maybe you're right, whatever. And once she realized that, I think it changed a lot of the way they saw the scene, because it was intended to be this flirty, fun scene
Well,
after all
I don't
that
think Angela's
stuff.
been speaking English for very long, so
It's
you
true,
have to
yeah.
explain
So-
some of those things.
Icelandic, right?
You're right. She's kind of the Bjork of the family. You know what I see here, though? I see it differently. I see a cad. I mean, look at what has just happened, and then he goes for this. So this guy will stop at nothing to get to my niece. Or, Dottie.
Absolutely.
That took an
Maybe
interesting
I
turn
haven't
there.
separated myself from my work enough, but
There's a lot of Brian Ass in this episode. Just like Joel Schumacher said to Chris O'Donnell, I'm going to make your ass a star,
Awkward.
said Michael P. Nowens to Brian Wool.
Awkward.
No, I'm going to make your ass a star.
No, I was like, I did not tell Brian his ass was awkward.
Now, I don't believe personally that they cleaned up the rest of that mess, because there's a lot of more mess that we saw.
I don't know, Irving. I don't want to talk about this.
The hat.
And that's my hat.
Have you ever?
I think we made a
actually
few.
seen
Yeah,
ghosts
I
in
made a
something?
couple of cuts here. I remember in the edit. We made a few changes in this. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember I wanted to. She was getting angrier and angrier, and then the last one was the meanest. And instead, I changed some of Angela's reactions around, so that way she snaps at him, and then he asks this final question, and she gives him a nice calm answer. And now here comes my probably my favorite effect in the whole series here.
Is this the beginning of the residuals?
Yeah, it is.
And
First time we see the this is like the second supernatural thing in the house.
Yeah,
but
this is
where
the
you
first
actually
ghost we see.
The ghost, yeah.
Yeah.
So
And listen to Celeste's music there. It's just she made some beautiful choices for some of these key moments in the series. And see, I was a big fan. I love the door slamming thing because that's it's something that's playing itself out, and it really ties into when Dottie realizes what actually happened there.
this is I believe me standing right in front of Brian Wool with a leaf blower in his face, and he was a trooper about that. I'm like, so I'm gonna blow you right now, and he was like, all right.
Nothing awkward about that.
Nope.
Yeah, the best part was watching the rough cut of this episode with all the horrendously loud leaf blower moments or fan moments. Yeah, it was like, so we're gonna fix that, right?
Right. Yep.
Mike's like, no, I think it's a choice. I also love Lonnie alone, and which is why I really, once I wrote the first scene with Lonnie alone in the series, it was just like, he's so much more fun than anyone else by themselves because he plays off himself, and that's what's great about him.
He's so much more of an expert than I would ever be. Like putting a lantern on and taking it into a room where there are already lights on. Now, that is really thorough.
Well, just in case.
You never know.
That's what I'm saying.
Especially the power has flickered a whole lot of times. Mm-hmm. Oh, and this burning ham thing is one of the things that I get questions about. And my rationale for the burning ham is sometimes sense associate, and Dottie's mother was cooking ham as Jerry murdered her, and so that it burned as her body is being dragged away and all that. So it associated itself with that moment. He's so nervous.
Apparently, burning ham smells terrible.
Well, it's been in there
It's
a
also
long
burning
time.
rotten ham now.
Yeah, right?
Sorry.
It's 10:53.
Well, it's so funny how Lonnie puts on his best Irving Renquist here.
He does.
He's seen Irving pick up these girls, so he immediately like, okay, what would Irving do? What would Irving do? Oh, here's my my slow motion and backwards movement and such. I was very happy with that footage, which was shot far, far later. I'm still so happy I got to have oh shit in this this series. And here is the real Dr. Tom Augusta.
I'd like to say it's been a pleasure.
Can I have your autograph?
Seriously. You don't think I'm a fraud? Maybe a little. How can you not like him?
And really, Sean, from the moment we decided to do this project, I knew that you were the only person who could play this role. There was no question in my mind that this was your part.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it from the start. TV stuff? Some of it is most definitely real. That's why I wanted your autograph.
Oh, it's so sweet.
There you go. Thanks, Lonnie. It's nice meeting you.
You too.
Yeah,
Dr. Tom?
first genuine moment, really, where you see him,
Yeah.
actually be able to be himself, instead of constantly having, his guard up.
When here's the other big "this is what's going on" moment.
Because the ghost knows what's really going on.
No, he doesn't. He just knows pieces.
Well, yeah, I know, but he's the professional.
Yeah.
That's all.
Smells sometimes associate themselves with emotions or events. Something was replaying itself for us.
And there's a lot of legitimacy to these theories. I did research and so forth.
Set up a tripod, put some of my theories down, what they pay me for. That old chestnut. I'm like Dr. Evil all of a sudden.
Oh, and this was an afterthought. I put it in, and I thought it was the funniest thing I'd written in the entire show. And Leslie still talks about getting 5 o'clock shadow burn from. Although Mark's shadow is like 3 days later shadow, not 5 o'clock. That's me. I get to play little Alex. And a good friend of mine whose mother came to our premiere got to play little Dottie. My brother actually thought it was him. He saw the picture. He's like, "Is that me?" It's like, "No."
She does
not
have
you.
kind of an every person quality. That's
Yes.
that's the key to her acting. Even in still photos, you can see it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alex.
Meanwhile, we shouldn't laugh. It is funny though.
And
We're
apparently
like a laugh track.
it works. It really works on attracting chicks. I know in real life a guy who broke his foot recently and got a girlfriend out of it.
It's true. It
So
happens.
what we're saying is break something,
And
Yeah.
and then the girls will.
You got to be
flock.
willing to go the distance.
I see. I got you. I think Brian's nose bruise there is some pretty nice makeup.
Yeah.
That is
we got
good.
some nice makeup.
Lingering after effects.
Look at how nicely Angela plays the just listening to this. She's thinking about it, and she's. I think a lot of her performance is she knows where he's going with this, and she immediately does not want to go there with it.
If an emotion or an event is bright enough, it leaves an imprint.
she's very stubborn.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't want to remember this horrible thing.
There is a residual in your father's bedroom.
That's not funny at all.
We dubbed that laughter in. We weren't even laughing.
No, what I'm excited about is this moment coming up where she slaps him.
Oh yeah.
And the thing we added, I remember, into the scene where
They're not dead.
They don't have to be.
And that's a debatable thing, whether or not residuals have to actually be dead.
yes,
Or that talking louder actually makes a bloody nose hurt more.
it's
Yes.
true. It's true. I love it. She smiles and laughs at this.
Well, she is totally into that Irving Renquist. And look, it's almost midnight over there, it looks like.
Because it looks like him?
We can't be sure.
Well, no, I can't be 100% sure. But was your mother a blonde?
Lots of people are blonde, Irving.
I'm not trying to
You're
make this
just
up.
like them.
I'm
I
not.
can't believe you.
Not
You think
even
they're
Jesus, my nose. You crazy?
It's the "Are you crazy?" that really sells it for me.
Yeah, but you were
I didn't realize that we didn't ever fix the blonde
So
thing.
quick to jump on the defensive.
Well,
Because
she's
Dottie's
like a
mother's
strawberry blonde
Redhead.
redhead.
Yeah.
I know, but
He's
usually
colorblind. We don't try to
people
make fun of
clarify
Irving.
that. They don't just lash out with a blow.
Right?
You know,
Seriously?
she is sensitive.
Just trying to help you, for Christ's sake.
Donnie, where the hell are you, Donnie?
Oh, and Bill is just a huge man. He's 6'8" or something, and when he walks up and just towers over Irving.
Yeah, he's still standing in front of the door, right?
There,
Sir, I can assure you that
there are
I'm
some
not
great
finished.
outtakes of this moment coming up where he walks up to the top of the stairs. Yeah, right here, And he backs up to the wall, and the hat goes down. And the first time that was just an accident. It just happened, and they lost it. Like I think the hat went down to like just below his nose. That happens to Brian a lot in this episode.
The hat is
grabbing of the shirt.
Well, this is a physical episode, and here's Irving trying to salvage everything here. It's like, okay, well let's see what we can do here.
We believe that there is a residual spirit living next door in the playground.
A young boy about 4 or 5 named Alex.
That's it. Get out.
Ignoring this won't make it go away.
That poor boy has seen enough. Now, I can help you down those stairs if you feel like you can't do it on your own. In about 5 minutes, I may be compelled to go and get my shotgun.
The door to the master bedroom right there where the residuals were seen.
Yes.
We're shooting this scene, I think, like, 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, and your parents were asleep in that
They're
bedroom.
asleep in that bedroom. They're screaming.
You know, they put up with so
They do.
much.
And it's funny, and like, because I go up to her and I'm like, I'm so sorry, thank you so much for allowing us to do this. They're like, they're never a problem. It's fine.
Well, they've known Mr. Coulter for a while, so.
They've had him yelling in their hallway at night before,
Right.
perhaps.
So, yeah, that's episode 5 in a nutshell. And the conclusion of my directing for the series.
And the epic 2-parter.
Yeah, true. And then after this we went into 8 and 9.
Directly into 8 and 9. Yeah.
Which at the time was just 8. It was
Right.
just episode 8, and then he later decided to split it up. So, yeah, that's that.
A great episode.